Alright, so how did you get on with the challenge from the last video? The first part of the challenge was to slice the string to produce the letters Q, P and 0. So let's have a go at doing that. So I'm going to type on line 7 print, parentheses, letters, square brackets, 16, colon 13, colon, minus 1. So we're starting at position 16, we're extending backwards up to but not including the character at position 13. So let's run that. And there's the letters Q, P and O. So next we want to slice to produce the letters E, D, B, C, A. The easiest way to include the beginning of the string is to omit the stop value. So we'll do that on line 10. So I'm going to type print, parentheses, letters, square brackets, 4, colon, colon, minus 1. So if we run that, and there's the letters E, D, C, B, A. So finally, we wanted the last 8 characters in reverse order. So we'll be using a negative step value, which means the start will default to the end of the string and can therefore be omitted. So to type that, I'm going to do a print, parentheses, letters, square brackets, colon, minus 9, colon, minus 1. All right, so running that, and there's the last 8 letters, Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S. Now there are other solutions you could have used, especially when returning items from the beginning and end of the sequence. Using default values for the start and stop is recommended when trying to return a certain number of characters from the beginning or end of a sequence. If you manage to produce the correct strings with your slices, well done. Alright, so I'll finish talking about slices for now by looking at some common idioms that Python programmers use and recognize. In the last video I mentioned that a slice of colon, colon, minus 1 is a Python idiom. When you see that, you'll recognize it as reversing the sequence. So let's see some more idioms. So the first is to return the last n items in a sequence. So let's say we wanted the last 4 characters from letters. So I'm going to come down on line 15. I'm going to type print, parentheses, letters, square brackets, minus 4 colon. So if I run that, we should get the last 4 letters. W, X, Y, Z. Whenever you see a slice with a negative start value and defaults for the stop and step, that just returns the end of the sequence. A common use of that is to get the last item by specifying minus 1 for the start value. So let's have a go at doing that. So I'm going to type print, parentheses, then letters, square brackets, minus 1, colon, run that. We get the last item, in this case, the Z. Now you can also use a slice to get the first character, very similar. We just type print, parentheses, letters, square brackets, 1, colon. Run that. And I actually did that the wrong way, because that obviously gave us everything but the first, starting at sequence position 1. It should have been colon 1, which is what I meant to type. Running that, we now get the letter A, which is the first item in the sequence, the first character. Now that last one is useful because it doesn't give an error if the sequence is empty. It may though be more natural to get the item at index position 0, and that works with this string. So we could also do it as print, parentheses, letters, square brackets, 0. And that's the same, gives us the same result. That works, but what would happen if our string was empty? So I'm going to go up and delete the letters, or the characters rather, on line 1. So I'll make that an empty string. Run the program, and we now get an error, and the error is that string index out of range. You can't access the first item of a sequence that doesn't contain any items. So looking at the code, the slice on line 17 produces an empty string instead of crashing with an index error. And just to confirm, if I run it again, the error is actually talking or is showing on line 18, as you can see there. So I had no problems with executing line 17. So the idiom on line 17 is useful for getting the first item in a sequence without your code crashing. If the sequence is empty, you'll get an empty sequence back, And that's often what you'd want to happen. Alright, so that's the end of slices for now. In the next video, we'll look at string operators. See you in the next video.